Hey guys, what's up? It is me, Mr. Tardy. I am out for this day, so I am recording this lesson. This is for 7.5, Chapter 7, Section 5. It's all about factoring, at least at this point. We're going to be looking into the greatest common factor for today, and we're going to start looking to other forms of factors. First thing they want us to do, starting off, is to simplify these. And if you remember how we simplify, we just distribute. So we have a times 3a. You can give us a 3a squared. We got a times a 7. So that'd be plus a 7a. Same thing with this sucker right here. So we got negative 2m times m squared. That'll be negative 2m cubed. Negative 2m times 6m give me minus 12m squared. And negative 2m times negative 1 plus 2m. I know the distribution, this stuff is relatively new, but overall the concept of multiplying is familiar. We multiply everything by the term that's being multiplied. Excuse me. Same thing right here. Sometimes you got stuff that doesn't multiply. 4, okay, that just stays as 4. X cubed, x squared, that's 5x's all around. And the y just stays as y. 4, negative 2, okay, that's a negative 8. X cubed, there's no x's combined with, so we just leave it be. Y squared, because there's two y's. You dig it? Because I'm digging it. So what is factoring? If this is distribution, if this is simplification, then we could consider factoring to be complexification, if you will. We want to separate a polynomial back into a product. And if you remember, product means to multiply or the end result. So if we think about it in terms of an example in 4a squared plus 8a, we recognize that 4 and 8 both can be multiplied by 4. So what we're going to do is pluck out that 4 from each of them. A squared and a both have an a in it. So we're going to pluck out an a. Then we asked what would we need to multiply by 4a to get 4a squared? Well, that would just be a. What would we need to multiply by 8 or by 4a to get an 8a? That would just be a 2. I get it. This is confusing. It is going to make more sense once we start getting the practice and the hang of it. It's like how I always say, practice is going to be what we want. Practice, practice, practice. Okay? Again, remember all the times that you have felt confused on material until you have practiced the material. And then once you practice the material, you're able to understand it better than you could have before. You struggled in pre-K, but now you can go back and kick pre-K's butt if you really wanted to. Polynomials that cannot be factored anymore are called prime. Now, you may be familiar with the term prime in prime numbers. Wow, who would have guessed? So, prime numbers are numbers like 1, where it can't be separated into any numbers besides itself and 1. Same thing with 2 and 3 and 5 and 7. Those guys are prime. Dippy dippy doo doggy. Oh, those guys are prime. Non-primes are numbers like 4, which could be separated into 1, 2, or 4. There's a number besides itself in 1. Or something like 6, which could be in 1 and 6, but also 2 and 3. This is just something to keep about. There's a field of study of math called number theory, which focuses heavily on prime numbers. But that's neither here nor there for now. Several factoring methods about approaching polynomials, breaking it down. You're going to ask, well, Mr. Tardy, if we just studied putting them together and simplifying them, why do we want to break them back up? It's going to make sense later when we want to find solutions. This one is the GCF method. It stands for greatest common factor. First thing we're going to do, check the coefficients for GCF. You notice how I noticed 4 and 8 both have a common factor of 4. I pulled them both out. Now I check the variables. A variable must be present in all terms to be a GCF. Okay? If a variable is present, we like to take the smallest exponent. This is going to make sense as we practice. We divide the terms and leave it to be a remainder, and we check our work by distributing. I'm not going to ask that because we're going to do it right the first time. Ain't that right, guys? So, 3x and 12. Ask yourselves, what does 3 and what does 12 have in common? And if you said 3, darn tooting, you're right. We're going to pull a 3 out of each. Now we look at the variables. This guy has an x, and this guy does not have the x. And because he does not have the x, we can't pull him out. So what are we going to do? Well, instead of panicking, we're just going to leave it be. Be lazy. So now I have 3x divided by 3. 3x divided by 3 is just going to be an x. 12 divided by 3, that's 4. And dunzo bunzo. On to number 2. 7y and negative 7. You can instantly look at this and say, I think both of them have a common factor of 7. I'd say, yeah, right on, dude. But we notice that the y is in one of them and the y is not in one of them. And because they are different, we don't pull the y's. So this becomes y minus 1. If you truly wanted to check, I won't blame you. We can keep it our little secret. Okay? But if we were to multiply this guy back in, we would see, oh, what's 7 times y? 7y. Oh, yeah, that's the same thing I had there. Check. What's 7 times negative 1? I think that's a negative 7. Same thing I got right there. Wow. Who would have guessed? So, we're going to hit up our next guy. Oh, okay. So, 8 and 36. Well, I know the 8, 16, 24, 30. Oh, 8 does not go into 36. Huh. But, you paying attention? 8 and 36 do have a common factor in 4. Right? Would I not be wrong? Would I not be not wrong? We could see that 4 can go into 8 and 4 can go into 36. Then we notice there's an M and an N. Is M the same thing as N? You better have said no. And since they're not the same thing, we're not going to pull it out. So we have 8 divided by 4. That's going to give us 2. The M just stays as it is. Darn tootin'. We have 36 divided by 4. That's going to give us a 9. N stays as N. Cool. 5x, 30y. I'm pretty sure both of them take a 5. X, Y, different things. So, x plus 6y. You digging it? I'm digging it. I know I'm digging it. But are you digging it? That's the question. Ooh. You mean to do that? Oh man, this thing is funky. So that's our front page done. I'm gonna go for the examples on the back page. Oh man, there's so many. Yeah. You run them drills. It's like soccer, it's like baseball. You're gonna hit the bat, and you're gonna hit, and you're gonna hit, and you're gonna hit, and then eventually you got it down. So I'm gonna run it through because I can, and you need to practice. Plus, we haven't hit all the cool topics yet. 6a squared, 27. 627. I look at that, I know my greatest common factor is 3. So I'm going to pull out a 3. A squared and nothing, that means it remains. 6 divided by 3 gives me 2. A squared comes down. 27 divided by 3 gives me 9. Done. 6 is the... Ooh, that's good. This is what we call a tasty lick here. 4, 24. Both have a common factor of 4. I can multiply something by 4 to get 4. I can multiply something by 4 to get 24. So we're going to pull out a 4. Y squared and y. Okay? So if you remember from what our rulings said, they said we are going... we're going to pull out the smallest version of the variable if the variable is present for all those terms. Okay? So our variable here is y. There's a y here. There's a y here. Great. Our smallest degree is 1. So we're going to pull out a y. And now we divide. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Y squared divided by y. 2 minus 1. It just gives me a y. Negative 24 divided by 4. Negative 6. Y and y. Gone. That's it. Again, you're probably get confused by now. I get it. This gets complicated. But I want you to understand that this is just a process. The big thing is understanding the process. Feel free to pause the video if you need to. Repeat it if you need to. That's why it's a video. Oh, one of the reasons. The other reasons because I'm not there. But I could have just had you read the book or posted notes online and say copy this. No, that doesn't work. You want some explanation going on. Visualization of the process. 21, negative 3. I see those, and from my experience of multiplication, that if you're not confident with is going to develop through this practice, I noticed both of them can be divided by 3. They both have a multiple of 3. So I'm going to pluck out that 3. Oh, a little too early because I should also check my variables. There's a C and there's not a C. So ignore the C. Bomp, bomp. There's a D and there's... oh! Both of them have a D. Highest degree is 1, so... or lowest degree is 1, so we're going to take out a D. 3D. Wow. Okay. 21 divided by 3. 7 Rooney. C just comes down to C. D divided by D. Gone. Okay. Negative 3 divided by 3. That gives me negative 1. D divided by D. That's gonzo. So just leave it. We're rocking right now. Hit up number 8. Ooh. 14, 18. I don't remember those immediately, but I do know something about even numbers. I know 14's even, 18's even, and I know instantly that's going to give me a 2. So I'm going to cut that. That's 7. I'm going to cut that. That's 9. 7, 9. There's no common factors there. So that's it. I could pluck out an H and an H from here, because those are both H's. So this just leaves me with the G. Oh, okay. Maybe this is a method that works for you. Years of practice and traditional method discipline leads me to go in this method where I don't have to do cutting and breaking and all that, because that's how I was trained. However, you can definitely run it in a way that makes you more comfortable. If it means break it into multiple parts, break it. This is your paper to answer with. Show your work, get me your answer. 15, negative 30. I both know that they can be multiplied by 15. So I'm going to pluck out a 15. Leaves me a 1. Leaves me a 2. A squared and A. Both of those guys are A's, but I'm only going to take one A because that's my lowest degree. B and B. It's there. It's straightforward. So this A comes down. I have one A, so I'm just going to write A. And I have minus 2. You're like, Mr. Tardy, where'd that come from? Again, I'm plucking them down. I'm writing them down. Not a big fan of this art site or writing site or whatever you want to call it. Kind of getting blurry, but do what you got to do. 16 and 24. Well, I'm going to pluck out a 2 from each because I know I could pull out a 2. That's 8. That's 12. Oh, wait, those are even again. I'm going to pluck out a 2 again and double this, so that's 4. I could do it again. 2 and 3. I could double this once more. Wow. This is an 8. Oh, you know what? Looking back, I could see it. 2 times 8 gives me 16, and 3 times 8 gives me 24. My greatest common factor is 8. So I went about a different method, but I got there eventually. I also knows both of these guys has a B, so I'm just going to pluck a B out. And I want to pull out a C from each. That leaves no C's for this one, but this guy gets a C. Put down the plus sign and bring this guy over. 2C plus 3. Wow. All right, how we feeling about this so far? I get it. You're probably still confused. If you're rocking with it, I'm rocking with it. I'll probably get a review with you when I come back on this concept. But we're going to try our best while we're not here. Okay. AB minus A. So there's no numbers in this one. It's just variables. Freak out. As I've been saying in every single situation, the concept's the same. A variable is just a number we don't know. So we're going to do the exact same method that we've been doing the exact same time. A, I'm going to cross out. A, I'm going to cross out because I can pull it. There's nothing left here, so I'm just going to put a 1. B's just going to come down, so B minus 1. Oh, wow. That was actually easier than I thought. No numbers to pull out, but I know, so I'm just going to pull this 3 down. I noticed there's an x squared and an x here, so I'm going to pluck out an x. And you don't get an x there, but you get the remaining x. And a y that just cancels out, so nothing to bring down. This was plus, right? So xy, x plus 3. Ooh, isn't that neat? Scroll. Oh, wait, 5 and 13? I can't factor those. What am I gonna do? Here, leave it. I want you to acknowledge it. Write something like can't factor. Okay. You see the x, you see the y, can't factor those. 13 is prime, 5 is prime. No common factors. That's it. Just say can't factor. That's all you got to do. You've given it your best attempt. Okay. Can't factor it. That's it. Bada bing, bada boom. What you gonna do about it? 1848. Now this we can factor. All right. 1848. Well, I don't know what specifically, but I do know I can pluck out at 2. But it leaves you as 9. And it leaves you as 24. And, wait. 29, or 9 and 24, we can pluck out a 3. And that becomes an 8. That becomes a 6. Okay, so I'm going to start off from the top, but I can pluck out a 6 from each. Because after checking it, yeah, 6 times 3 gives me 18. And, excuse me, 6 times, what was that, 8? Gives me 48. Okay. I erased it. So what? I got erasers on my pencil for a reason. Forget about it. Okay. A squared and A. So the A crosses off there, but I'm only going to get rid of 1a here, which leaves that. Bring it down. B and B. Well, both only have one B, so I'm plucking it out. Oh, whoa. That's an exponent higher than 2. Same exact thing we've been doing, guys. C squared and C cubed. What's 3 minus 2? 1. C to the 1th power. C to the 1st power. I don't need to put that. I can pluck out a C squared. This is going to come down a minus sign. And so I finally put in parentheses 3a minus 8c. Take a drink. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, shoot. This one's tricky. And it's the same exact thing we've been doing, except there's one more. I gotta change. Dogs, look at this. You just gotta make sure everything's got the same thing if you pluckins it out. 2, 2, 4. Highest thing I can pull out of there's a 2. Boom, boom, boom. Leave use that. Okay, x squared, x, and x. The most I can pull out is the lowest degree. There's a degree 1, and a degree 2. So we're going to pluck out a degree 1. So that becomes x. That's gone, and that's gone. Y squared, and y. I'm going to pluck out a y because that's the lowest degree. That's the most I could take out. I'm going to pluck out a y, cross that off, pluck out a y from the y squared. That leaves me with a y. Pluck out this here. Bring down my signs. Minus, plus, and I'm left with x minus y plus 2izzle for rizzle. Ooh. Now we got numbers and letters that aren't x's and y's. 9, 18, 24. What could it be? Oh, I know 9 and 18 go together, but 9 doesn't go with 24. I know 18 and 24 both have a 6, but 9 doesn't have a 6. We know it's not 9. We know it's not 6. 3? Can we check 3? Let's check 3. So I can break that into 3. I can break that by 3. And I can break that by 3. Oh, George, great Scott, we got it. Okay. We're mainly rocking with an r to the 8th, r squared, and r. The biggest amount of r, the most amount of r we can pull out is 1. So we're just going to pull out that 1. R8 becomes R7. R2 becomes R. And R is just gonzo. Whoa. S. Wait. You got an S. Cool. You got an S. Cool. You don't have an S. We can't pluck out the S. Everything has to have the S. Else you can't pluck it out. So what we're going to do is leave it. S squared. Bring down my signs. Okay, now that I have that all settled, I'm going to bring this down. So I'm going to bring in 3r7 minus 6rs minus 8s squared. You dig that? I know, that was a complicated one. It was. But we handled it through tenacity and perseverance. All right, hit up the next one. 6, 14, and 10. Well, I know they're all even. And because they're even, we could pull out a 2. So that would give me 3, that would give me 7, and that would give me 5. And looking at these, I don't think there's anything in common I could pull out, so we're just going to call it 2. All right. So we have the y's. The y's are the next thing we're going to look at. So we have y fourth, y third, y squared. Most amount we could pull out is the y squared because it's the smallest one. Does that dig it? We dig it? Okay, so y squared, y squared, y squared. Oh, wait, I put that too early. I guess I'll use my eraser. Y squared, y squared, y squared. Y squared's gone here. Y cubed minus y squared. Y4. And put down my plus, put down my minus, put down my y squared here. You digging it? And since I've plucked out everything I can, it's all just black lines up there now. 3y4, 7y, minus 5. Oh, that's a typo on my end. It should be 3y squared. 3y squared. Okay, let's hit it up to the next one. 12, 36, it's 6. 12 can go into 36. That's cool, but 12 can't go into 6. 6 can go into 12. 6 can go into 36, though. So we'll pull out a 6. I recognize that. Divide by 6 will give me a 2. Divide by 6 will give me a 6. Divide by 6, you're gone. A's. A fifth, a fourth, a squared. Most amount of a I could pull out is a squared. Cut you out of my life. This is my last resort. A4, a2, a2, a5, a2, a3. Ooh. B squared, b squared, b squared. That leaves you with a b right here. Oh. Everything's gone here. Huh. Well, in the case where everything disappears and is gone, we're going to just put 1. Okay? Because 6 divided by 6, 1. A squared divided by a squared, 1. B squared divided by b squared, 1. 1 times 1 times 1, 1. Minus minus, then I can bring this down to a cubed minus 6a squared b minus 1. Break. Almost through with this sheet, okay, guys? Then I'll tell you what I want to see on your home whistles. Hey. 14, 28, 14. Well, I recognize 14 and 14. Same thing, you know. 28, 14 goes into 28. We're gonna pluck out 14s. You're gone. I don't want to put the 1. You're gone. And we're gonna cut you in 2. So 14's there. G, we go in alphabetical order. There's a G here. And there's a G here. But there's no G here. So I'm just gonna bring the G's down. G and G. GG. H squared, H, and H. I could bring down an H for each. I can vibe with that. You get the remaining H, and you get the H out here. That was a plus sign, so I'm gonna put plus here. And oh, everything's gone. What did I just say? Literally just now. What do you do when everything's gone? You put 1. Plus 1. All right. Now we bring down our guy. GH, 2G, plus 1. It's the exact same thing I wrote down by plucking everything out. 18, 24, 36. You guys see any common factors? Greatest common factor, any predictions? Well, if you said 12, you're wrong. Because it doesn't go into 18. You said 9, you're wrong. Because it doesn't go into 24. You said 6, ding, 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 ding. You're right. We're going to pluck out a 6. Makes you a 3. That makes you a 4. Makes you a 6. X squared, X, and no X. We can't pluck out X. We can't pluck out X's. So we're just going to pull down X squared here. We're going to pull out X here and account for it by removing it in our list. Y, no Y, Y. They don't all have Y, so we're going to just pull down the Y's, and that's why did we even bother with that. Z, Z, Z. Z, Z, Z. Okay, the highest degree we got is a 1 right there, you see? So we're going to pluck out a Z. We're going to pluck out a Z, making you Z, and we're going to pluck out a Z, so Z cubed becomes Z squared. And pull the Z there. Oh, Don't forget your signage. Can't forget that. Minus and plus. So we'll have 3x squared y minus 4xz plus 6yz squared. Sorry, talking always get your throat dry. We're at 30 minutes right now, which is a pretty good lesson. 4 questions left. I still want to run them through. You can feel free to pause at any point in time and try them out. But this is a little late to get going in the video. Yeah. M, M, M. Ooh, all of them have M's. Woohoo. So we're going to pluck out. Oh, so 1, 2, 3. The most amount of M's we can pull out is a 1. 2 minus 1. Bomb. Oop. Okay. Here we see N, N, N. We'll pluck out an N. Don, you're left. Don, you're left here. Ooh. Oh, I'm not gonna forget about the 5. Won't forget about our plus and minus sign. That's it. M squared minus MN plus 5N squared. 16, 28, 8. I could check it with the 4. I think that might be where I have to do it. Right? Because we're looking at 4, we're looking at 7, and we're looking at 2. X, oh, there's no X here, so I'm just going to bring these guys down. Y squared, Y, and Y. I can pluck out a Y from each, but I got to remember to put my Y back here. Plus, plus, so 4xy plus 7x plus 2zo. Cool. Couple more left. We're persevering. Oh, whoa, whoa. All right. So, 35, 20, 15. You guys should be able to see this. That's obviously 5. So, 15, 7, 4, 3. I got a squared, a, and a. I could pluck out an a, but don't forget to put my remaining a here from the a squared. There's no b here, so b's got to remain. That's it. Oh, almost put the wrong symbol. So 5a, 7a, minus 4b squared, plus 3. Final one, guys. Final one. We made it. All right. So, 3, 9, 15. I check it. I kick it. Can you kick it? That's an old song. Oh, you're gone. 3, 5. Okay. A cubed, a squared, a. Most amount of a's I can pull out is 1. So I'm going to pull out my a. Your left is an a, and your left is an a squared. B squared, b cubed, b4. Most amount of b's I can pull out is 2. So your left is a b. Your left is a b squared. Your b squared. C squared, c. Okay, so your left is a c, and your left is a c squared. Bump, bump. Get my little c right there. Oh, c. It's me, little c. Me, free ABC. And it's me, 5b squared, c squared. That's the sequel. Okay. So there we see it. We finish it. Let me see if I can find your work real quick. Sign in. Old laptop. Oh, that's the wrong one. So, you coming in, quiz, and there's the notes for today. Okay. So here's what your assignment's going to look like. You see questions 1 through 18 are relatively straight and forward, two portion GCFs. 19 for 24 is triple GCFs. You can see that one starts off easier, probably looking at single terms, while later on towards 15, you're looking at multiple terms being factored out at the same time. Your extra credit is going to be 1, or first column, second column, third column. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. Extra credit. And those will be valued at 1 point a piece. Okay? You get enough done, I'll maybe throw in a couple extra points just to make it around 10 because I like them round numbers. But you guys get it. Get going. Keep working. Rock on.